Right. Well, hello. Here we are. This is the start of a short video series that we're doing at Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend and Scotiabank Ottawa Marathon. We're calling it Speedwork, and I'm here with my co-host Dylan Wykes from Mile to Marathon. Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Ian, how are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Thanks for having me.
Good. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with these sort of short topics where we're going to talk about a few things on each of these little segments and hopefully provide some humor and a little bit of information along the way. So I think the first thing we want to talk about, Dylan, is this concept of speed work. I don't know about you, but I've in my coaching days got asked all kinds of times about, should I be doing speed work as a marathoner or a half marathoner? Why do I need to do speed work if the distances are long and the overall pace is shorter? What are your thoughts about that? And did you get that question too?
Definitely get that question a lot, Ian. And yeah, my thoughts are that speed work does have a place in everyone's training plan. I think it's a good element of a training plan that can help you to get more economical and to have your race pace, whether that's half marathon or marathon pace, feel easier. So being able to run at faster paces is going to help boost your aerobic capacity, boost your fitness, and just gives you more of a buffer to those race paces there. And I think that's, who doesn't want race pace to feel easier?
Yeah, that would be everybody's, but then you'd have to go faster, right? So if that race pace felt easier, then you'd have to go faster so that, yeah, no, I totally get it. And what are your thoughts on kind of, the differences between that sort of that interval or speed work sort of interval distance or time for a half or a full marathoner versus somebody who's doing a 10K or who's a 5K runner? How is that? Is it a longer interval? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's the intervals have to fit in kind of to a well-rounded training plan. So they can't make up too much of your training volume or too little. There's got to be a good balance there. But in terms of the specifics of the interval, it's something where my overarching philosophy and theory is that you got to be able to get in the work, but also recover afterwards. So we can't be doing reps that are longer than a kilometer or so. It kind of is going to start to eat into your ability to recover. So I like, for everyone from a 5K runner to a marathoner, intervals between 400 meters and a kilometer are kind of a good sweet spot, and that's for most people going to take a minute if you're really fast to run a 400, but more like 2 minutes, and upwards of 5 minutes. So intervals in that range with a good rest period in between, and targeting your 5K to 10K race effort on those, and those are kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah, and I kind of like that idea, and I think I get asked the question, well, what's the best time during my training phase or training cycle to integrate that in? But I don't know about you, but I think you should always be doing some speed work of some kind. Maybe that gets tweaked a little bit depending on how close you are to race day and where you are in your taper. But I always think it's something that should be integrated regularly, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I think if it's well planned and it's well thought out and it's not too intense or too much volume, that those speed work interval training sessions can be in your training program throughout the year. And you can be varying as I say, the intensity and the volume of them to suit where you're at in your training, but don't neglect them.
That's excellent. That's a great point. And I think it makes, whether you're an elite athlete or this is your first time at maybe cracking the marathon distance, everybody can really benefit from that sort of variation in pace, right? I mean, it's not something that's unique to your ability level for sure, right?
100%. It's so fun. It's fun to go fast, no matter
Yeah.
you're fast. It doesn't have to be the fastest person's in the race's definition of fast. Your fast should be fun, and that's something that I think a lot of people kind of try and shy away from.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would get asked that question a lot. Well, should I have a target pace for this interval? And sometimes I think there's an answer for that, but I think other times it's like, well, what does fast feel like you tonight for you? Is that that's your fast, right? I like that, Dylan. Like, find your fast, right?
There you go. It's a nice little
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. That's episode number 1 of Speed Work down for us. We're going to do a whole bunch of these, maybe 12 of them all together, but I think that's episode number 1. So thanks, Dylan. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.
All right.